I'm Professor Jagdish Sheth at Emory University. This presentation is all about management learnings from my mother. Mothers actually have very practical common sense, and often management principles we complicate by jargon, especially academic jargon. I think this would be the other way around by having simplification through what mothers teach their child to grow up right and get more potential out of him or her. The first lesson is share your toys and sweets with others. Don't be possessive. It is better to share than to hog. There's a very clear message for the companies. Investors and owners think that all the wealth created belongs to them and forget in the process that the true wealth creators are several key stakeholders, such as suppliers, for example, employees, obviously, community which has invested in the company, and of course, the customers. How do we learn to share the wealth and become more stakeholder rather than a shareholder-driven company? Second major lesson is be nice to others and especially to your younger siblings. Just because you are bigger and stronger does not mean you have to bully everybody. And mothers try to teach the child to make sure that he or she does not become a bully in the family or with other children. This is a direct lesson for managers. Most bosses become jerk through power. They want to use their power to abuse their employees or subordinates. This lesson basically says the other way around. Mentor your subordinates. The role and the mission of you as a manager is to get more potential out of them, and the better they do, the more pride you should take. He was my subordinate. I got his potential out. He got a very fast promotion, whatever it is. This is a second key lesson every mother teaches to their child. Third, don't waste your food. Don't play with the food. Remember, there are hungry children or children who go hungry every night. This is very important lesson because companies must also learn to make sure that there are people out there, the society, refugees, low-income people, poverty people, and it is a corporate social responsibility or social responsibility by companies and owners to give back in some fashion. So engage in CSR is very important as we teach the child to make sure that you don't waste and think about people who are less fortunate than you are. I think it's something that has to be the DNA of a company. Next lesson is keep with company with good people. Bad people will give you bad values by definition. Societally not acceptable, legally probably not agreeable or not legal even. And therefore, what matters in the business side, as it is in the individual side, is protecting the integrity and the value system. Have a value system and integrity, and therefore the trust that society creates in the company. What matters most is brand reputation and company reputation. It takes a lot of time to create one, and you can destroy it almost instantly, as we have seen recently with a number of corporate scandals on social media. Next lesson is eat your vegetables. I like this specifically because what it says is that as a young child, you have a tendency to eat junk food or snacks all the time. You want to have dessert, cake before the meal. What one needs to have a properly balanced diet between the calories, the protein, the fat, whatever the four basic necessities are. Vegetables is conspicuously not consumed with desire and passion as we consume sweets, desserts, etc. This means to the management side, we have to learn how to balance work-life balances. How do you balance family obligations and investing in the family as we invest in the corporation? Being totally workaholic may be self-destructive. We know that managers put a lot of stress on them to get ahead in the company, to actually overtime work and in the process destroy their health. So it's basically self-protection, if nothing else, that is very important to have this balanced work-life, balancing somehow work-life activities in the life. I do believe what matters, therefore, is really practicing meditation and spirituality. Meditation calms you down. Spirituality gives you some purpose and meaning in life, because hard work without meaning is meaningless. Creating wealth without meaning is meaningless. And this gives you some sort of a purpose in life, and therefore balancing work-life spirituality as a very important activity is what we can learn from mothers who always tell, eat your vegetables. Last and the most important attribute is that work hard and be whatever you want to be. And the only way you can achieve your dreams is practice, practice, practice. Unfortunately, in the management literature, we have found most companies plateau with success. Success breeds failure. In one of my books on self-destructive habits of good companies, I have pointed out 7 bad habits of good companies. One is denial, but the other one is success breeds failure. Companies plateau. And we have seen this recently where world-class corporations, those are retailers like Sears on the one hand, or in fact many of the manufacturing companies such as General Electric, for example, all seem to have plateaued. They are not seeing the future in the right direction. You have the disruptive technologies coming in, you have the globalization taking place, and therefore the lesson says is that don't allow the company to plateau and their people at the same time. Status quo management is the worst thing you can do. Willingness to not change, unwilling to change, and inability to change are the real problems. So consciously one has to aspire and create a new mission for the future, creating an anticipatory management or an aspirational management as to where you are and where you need to go. All these 6 lessons from moms given to their children have only one and one mission. How can you get more potential out of you yourself as a child? Companies need to learn that their own potential they don't realize quite often till they consciously put their mind behind and practice the 6 principles that I've articulated. I hope you have enjoyed this presentation. Thank you very much.